See, in present session we are going to discuss about corrosion. So first of all, try to understand, or let us try to learn what is corrosion, right? So corrosion is formation of an undesirable compound by reacting with atmospheric components. Okay, so when metal reacts with the components which are present in the atmosphere, it forms some compounds, right? So likewise, the formation of some undesirable compounds when react with the atmosphere is simply called as corrosion, right? And you would have seen many examples of corrosion. Let's try to understand what are they. See, the best example of corrosion is rusting of iron. And during rusting of iron, iron reacts with the oxygen and water present in the atmosphere to form hydrated iron oxide, and the formula of the hydrated iron oxide here is Fe2O3.XH2, which is the formula of rust. And similarly, the another example what we can take is tarnishing of silver. So tarnishing or blackening of silver. And in this, the compound of silver formed is its sulfide, right? And similarly, copper, a green color coat will be developed on most of the copper vessels. Means the green color coating or green coating on copper. Right, and let's see even the formula. What is that? It is a carbonate with hydroxide. Right, so these are all what undesirable compounds, and these are all the compounds formed due to reaction of the metals with the atmospheric components. See, when iron reacts with the oxygen and water present in the atmosphere, rust is formed. Similarly, when the silver reacts with the sulfur present in the atmosphere, the silver sulfide is formed. And at the same time, if the copper reacts with the carbon dioxide and water present in the atmosphere and at the same time with oxygen, then the green color coating is developed, right? So such formation of all undesirable compounds is known as corrosion. So how to prevent the corrosion? Because due to corrosion or because of formation of corrosion, most of the time the metal will be deteriorated, or the lustrous or basic lustrous nature or the basic properties of the metals will be destroyed. See, rusting of iron. So because of rusting of iron, the outer layer of the metal peels off slowly, so that the rod or the iron article becomes weak and can be deteriorated, right? Similarly, tarnishing of silver. See, silver develops a black colored layer so that its basic lustrous nature will be lost, right? So like that, because of the formation of these all undesirable compounds, the metal lost its basic physical properties. Means whatever the basic properties of metal are there, they will be lost. So it is compulsory for us to prevent the corrosion. So let's see how to prevent the corrosion. So prevention of corrosion. So to prevent the corrosion, see, what do you understand from the word corrosion? Corrosion is the formation of undesirable compounds. So when the metal forms undesirable compounds, when metal comes into contact with the atmospheric components, like on the metal surface, if water is residing and that will react with the metal, or oxygen, carbon dioxide are residing and they react with the metal, then the undesirable compounds will be formed. Now, how to prevent the corrosion? Just if at all we have avoided the contact between the metal and atmospheric components, then definitely the corrosion will be prevented, right? So for the prevention of corrosion, the best regular methods what we have practiced is that coating of metal. Means one thing, so coating of metal with oils, grease, paintings, etc. So that what happens, the metal surface becomes very smooth, and at the same time it does not react with the atmospheric components, because these all substances will form a protective film or protective layer over the metal and avoids the contact between the metal and atmospheric components, hence the corrosion can be prevented, right? Or else the another method is coating of more reactive metal. Coating of more reactive metal. So in this what we will do is, our article whatever we want to protect, that article is just coated with very high reactive metal than that, so that that metal forms a protective layer around that. In this, the most frequently practiced is galvanization. So galvanization is one example of coating with more reactive metal. So what is galvanization? See, galvanization is simply coating of iron article with zinc. Right, now zinc, why we have coated it with zinc? The simple reason is that zinc forms a protective layer. So it forms, zinc forms a protective layer of, here I am writing the compound of zinc which forms the protective layer. So this is the compound. So here this compound of zinc reacts readily rather than other compounds. But so what? The zinc reacts vigorously and forms the zinc carbonate. So here we'll have carbonate of zinc and hydroxide of zinc, and this is a protective layer, and this layer will avoid or will protect the metal from reacting with the atmospheric components. So like this, if at all we see how to prevent the corrosion, prevention of corrosion is very simple, just to avoid the contact of the given metal with atmospheric components. So for that, either coat the metal with oils, grease or painting substances, or else there's one more thing, galvanization. So galvanization is simply coating of the given article with zinc, because zinc forms the protective layer over the given article. Now after this, finally let us discuss about few substances which are alloys. So what are alloys? See, here we know very well there are many metals available in the nature, right? And now every metal can dissolve readily into another metal, right? So as the metals can dissolve into each other, because of this, the homogeneous mixture of two or more metals are called alloys. So what are alloys? Alloys are simply the homogeneous mixture of two or more metals, because we know very well that one metal can dissolve into another metal readily, right? So let's take the few examples of metals. See, for example, if at all we take brass. See, brass is a combination of copper and zinc, right? And similarly, bronze. So bronze is the combination or alloy of copper and tin. Okay, so we call generally like amalgams. So we most of the time used to call the metals amalgams. So what are amalgams? So amalgams are simply the alloys of mercury with any other metal. So we know that mercury is a liquid metal, right? And this liquid metal, into this liquid metal, if at all we have dissolved any other metal, then we call any of them are as alloys, right? So what are amalgams? So amalgams are alloys of any metal with mercury. Now for example, NaHg is called as sodium amalgam. right? So this is the way. What are alloys means? You can understand clearly. Alloys are the homogeneous mixture. See, it should be homogeneous. We have to melt the metals and then dissolve them so that they will be mixed thoroughly, right? So like that, the homogeneous mixture of metals are called as alloys, right? So you can take the examples. Brass branch are simple the examples which we use many means in day-to-day life are the best examples of alloys. And similarly, amalgams, we would have learned about many types of amalgams, but anyway, whenever any other metal is dissolved into the mercury, then we call it with the name of the metal amalgam. See, if sodium is dissolved in mercury, we call it as sodium amalgam. Like similarly, magnesium is dissolved into the mercury, then we have to call it as magnesium amalgam, right? So what are amalgams? Basically, amalgams are the solutions or alloys of mercury with any other metal. So have a look.